just to check if I can hear myself. It's like there's nothing showing. Oh, there is. Oh shit. Oh no. I'm cursing. Not supposed to be cursing. Shouldn't say that. Okay. This is weird. Like, it's on, but nothing is on. I'm on my other account and it is. Okay, I can hear myself. Okay, I don't hear myself. Not yet. At least not now. But anyway, hi. Where's the camera? Hi, everyone. It is my first live ever, and I'm gonna jump straight into it. Why am I doing this live? I have actually started 75 Hard for the second time, but I'm doing a modified version of 75 Hard. The reason is 75 Hard was easy in the sense where a lot of those rules were already built into whatever I was doing before. So like drinking a gallon of water, exercising twice a day. I always clock 10,000 steps every single day already. I'm already going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. And now that I'm into running, so it's 100% that I already reached there. The diet, it's all meal prepped, or at least it's already planned out for the next 2 weeks because like I have shoots and that kind of thing. So you kind of get the feels of what I'm going to be eating and that kind of thing. So anyway, TLDR, it was quite easy to the point where I was just like, okay, I need to change up. And, you know, once you change it up, you change the rules. It's like technically not really 75 hard. So I was just like, all right, I'm going to be changing it into something that is harder for me and much more, you know, something that will really challenge me outside my comfort zone as always. And I have created this new version of it over here. So this is the new 75 thing. I should have started yesterday. Technically I started yesterday, but yeah, things happen. So technically I would have failed and then I would have done this as my first day. But, you know, I was just going to close one eye just for this particular one, just because of the first day, something really happened. And I did not manage to do the thing that I was supposed to do, which I'm doing right now. So that thing is a 30-minute video reflection. I always do a lot of writing reflections, you know, in the journal. I always do a lot of voice journals in the sense where I do have my video recorder somewhere. No, it's charging over there. So I used to do that and I will send it through the transcripting devices and then I'll just see, you know, because I don't want to type things out. I'm already on the computer at least 8 to 12 hours a day already. And then the last thing I want to do is to go back on the computer and go type everything out. So I was just like, all right, I think the best way to do it is in video form. And what better way to do it than to not just film it on my camera and then I go and cut it up later on, but to have it live, something that is one take and right out there into the public. Why am I doing that? I guess it's more of the documentation of seeing the progression on over 75 days that I found really, really cool. It's also something like when you take the progress picture, then I read that I saw on TikTok, someone was saying like, hey, you should also take videos of it. Take videos of yourself as you do the progress pictures. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. So as I was watching like the videos, I was like, oh, there is a change. And it's like the way I moved and that kind of thing. So in terms of having a video reflection, which is just one take and something that I can rewatch again, especially, you know, I'm a very technical person, always thinks about how I'm going to, you know, how it's going to be done. So if you want me to set up the whole camera setup and stuff like that, that is very mafan in the sense. It's very super, a lot of wasted time and all the perfection just comes into play and I just never get it done. But I decided for myself that, hey, you know what? I've been watching a lot of live streams of people who just use their phones and it is pretty cool. This also, you know, refers to all the K-pop idols who are inside the studio and then they're just talking to whoever is just talking to them and nothing much is happening. They're just looking pretty. And I'm thinking to myself that that's pretty easy. I can do that too. So, which is why we're doing live. Yeah. So that's why we're on live. Oh, but the other thing is also that I want to test, not only for me, but to test how live works, because I want to use it to help other people go live too. And if I get more comfortable with this and I feel I want to take this setup to the next level and it does actually get somewhere, then I will go invest in the things that I do want to buy to make the live better. I was actually thinking, I got to set up the OBS and I got to set up the microphones and things like that, like a professional streamer, and I got everything has to be perfect. But again, perfection sets in. It did not happen for many months. So the best way to do it is to start with whatever you have, dive straight into it, and that's basically what I'm doing. So to recap on that, 30 minutes video reflection every single day about we'll get to that soon, but a lot of things that I do want to talk about. So what I hope to have at the end of this 75 hard for the video like live streams is to see how much I have actually grown and to see how my thoughts and thinking has changed over time, which is something that has been very exciting to me. I'm saying this based on all the books that I'm reading. Currently, I am reading a lot of books at the same time. And when I mean reading, I'm talking about consuming them. Consuming them. Not 100% like I need to put the page to my face and then read like that. Because there are sometimes, most of the time, I am not able to actually sit down and actually read the book. If I'm commuting to the city, I can read the book on the train. If I am driving, you can't read. The next best thing is to have the audiobook, which I have Audible always at the ready. So these books are also in Audible on YouTube, Spotify, that I also listen throughout the day. So one of the things also inside 75 Hard, which I've also put here, is an hour of an audiobook opposed to having, reading 10 pages. 10 pages is cool. I still do read from time to time, but logically speaking, if I were to, I'm trying to weigh balance it in a sense where, yes, I can read 10 pages every day. It's very easy to get through. Listening to an audiobook for 1 hour is considered pretty hard with a very heavy schedule, but it must be done in one sitting. And I think that's basically it. Some purists might say that you shouldn't, then what's the point of that? You're just forcing yourself to just put yourself through an audiobook and get through that. But I start to see that when you're reading a lot of non-fiction books, which when you break it down, it breaks down into, a sentence, a word that leads to a sentence, then goes into a paragraph, and then you're sort of like reading like an essay sort of thing, which is broken down into like the arguments, the case studies, so on and so forth. So as you're looking at a paper like that, books are generally the same. The non-fiction books, which go through all the research to put them into these sort of books, are the same. So it's not something that I need. Some parts are dry, some parts are actually useful, some parts are just to filler spaces. And once you sort of understand the concept, most of the books that I'm reading over here are informative and not really meant to be enjoyed in a sense. It feels more like a lecture, which is very fun to me, very interesting, because you get more knowledge based on that. So that's why I decided on audiobooks rather than just read 10 pages, because sometimes the whole passage is very thick in the sense where you need to grasp the whole concept. And if I'm just reading 10 pages, one thing that was a little pet peeve of mine was sometimes you will end on the last page where it will be the end of a word and then it was hyphen to the next word, which is like very weird for me. So I was just like, okay. Then I ended up reading like half the full chapter or like half the book, because I really want to get into that. Those were also non-fiction books, but that's like full paper. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that now I have to listen to an hour of an audiobook every single day. regardless of how busy the day is. And this is like something that is challenging. At the same time, I have to do it. So that is in there. The other stuff which is in here is, yes, again, the diet, the workout, the progress picture, gallon of water. And the last thing over here I have is watch one movie per week. Not per day. That would be insane. Per week. The reason why this is here is because it's been a long time since I've actually watched a movie, and I start to realize that this has been some sort of, excuse. That's like the biggest excuse not to watch a movie. You might be wondering, like, why is it an excuse to watch a movie? Well, it's funny to say that, I am a filmmaker, I make films, that kind of thing. But I do not consume films. I do not put myself in the movie theater to enjoy myself anymore, because I make the excuse of I am too busy creating a lot of things, which is true to a certain extent until I realize that I have the free will to actually plan out my time. So if I would say watch one movie every single day, that's a bit insane, because I'm already at the tip of like trying to get my life together, find a perfect schedules. But slowly as I ease into it, I want to watch one movie a week. That is something that is already so hard to plan for, but I need to make it work. But going deeper into why this excuse came about is that falling in love with making movies long ago, I talk about how long, when I just started getting into like video stuff, I was 14 years old. Yeah, 14 years old. Now I'm 28. 14 years old, sitting there, and I was like thinking, watching early YouTube. Yeah, back in the days where, there weren't many YouTubers, and even before YouTube Rewind was a thing, and everyone knew all the YouTubers that were inside the movie. But what I'm trying to say is that when I first started getting into videos, was watching those YouTubers and saying that, hey, if they can do that, I can do that too. Took my phone, strapped it to a stick, made my first video in Windows Movie Maker, and I enjoyed myself. It's giving Steven Spielberg when he was in Scouts. Funny because I'm also in Scouts, but like when he was in Scouts, and then he took 2 trains, smashed them together, and then he took his grandfather's camera, and then he's like, oh, actually, I can film the train from here, and just like watch it over and over again. And that expression over there excites me, and I just fell in love with the creation of videos. So from there, watching movies was not just an art form. It was home to me. It was a place where I can truly be myself. Because mind you, I was 14 years old and I was very bad in school. I was getting a lot of C's and borderline just pass, because I wasn't good in English, I wasn't good in math, I just wasn't good in subjects. And I was always told to, you should continue to study and study and study and study. You're not working hard enough. Everyone thought that I sucked, basically. So finally, I found something in life which had nothing to do with school. Hence the, watching the YouTube and like, if they can do it, I can do it too. And then I just fell in love with it. So I fell in love with it to the point where I needed to level that to grades. I needed to, what's the right word for it? When the word comes up, I'll talk about that later. But basically, I couldn't gauge. Okay, let's use the word gauge. I couldn't gauge how good I was, because, when you get into art, and then my point of reference was school, where, if you get these questions right, then after that, you will get a grade, 90 out of 100, that kind of thing. Then you'll be graded like A, B, C, D kind of thing. So I did not have that. That's where I just kept working really, really hard. I learned even more. I was excited, and it became my passion, so on and so forth. Then I had to go to the technical education and later diploma and that kind of thing. And I still continued to go to film school because I wanted that grade to sort of help me gauge how good I was. So when I went there, that still did not calm my nerves at all, because I was one of the better ones in class because I had all the prior experiences that I had sort of built up as I was getting into video production. At the age of 15, 16, 17, I went to technical education at 18, I think 18, 19, yeah, 18, 19. And then after that, I went to army, and then 21, yeah, you get a point. Just know that I had a lot of time building myself up in the video space, especially watching movies every single day. Mind you, again, this was back before, the work, money, and that kind of thing had to settle in. Now it's like 10 years later, so that life is different. But going into the movie theater, then it was a sense of home for me. It was a place that I felt at one with the movies. It's like a conversation with the artists themselves, and like the way that they're expressing the world that they have created in reference to the world that we live in. And I felt that, hey, this place is wonderful. It's romantical, it's fantasy, it's a place that I want to be in. I want to be. I started rhyming out for no reason, but yeah. All of whatever I just said leads me to, because I was working so hard, I felt that I was not good enough. I felt that I needed to keep creating. I had to let go of watching the things, because if you're consuming a lot and you're not having any output, then what's the point of being in this industry, in a sense? So that's where I really locked in when it goes start making things. Jumped to different companies. Well, I wasn't really jumping companies. I was like freelancing here and there. I was doing a lot of films, doing so many films in every different role, from being someone who was the camera person, to the runner, to the producing and the gaffers, and I was in every department. I just want to get my foot in the door and just learn as much as possible. But something that I'll touch on in a bit of where I am right now, especially in the business, which I am sort of like building, struggling, but yeah, is when you are out there, you're filming, you're doing the project, you don't have time to be watching the movies. You're either consuming or you're either doing. You don't have time to do both. So I use that excuse for the longest time, saying, nah, I have to be creating, which is half true, but why am I not making time to do so? Yeah. So that's why, after all this yapping, all I want to say is that I need to get back into watching movies, and I'll take it slowly. The reason for that is that, no, not reason for that, it's that I need to slowly ease myself into allow myself to say that, hey, it's actually okay to watch movies, basically. I know I will fall deeply in love with the creations of things, even if it's a very shitty movie, because I can still nitpick on the technical stuff. But I must understand that it's okay. I realize that this is something that I need to accept, but I'm cool with it, And TLDR, we're getting back into it slowly, so one movie. Yeah, so anyway, just to recap of whatever I was saying just now, which was 75 Hard, the new one, which I'm starting again, is that these are the rules. Progress picture, diet, workout, 1 hour of audiobooks, 30 minutes video reflection, 1 gallon of water, which I have not filled up for tomorrow, and 1 movie per week. The per week stands for from Monday to Sunday. It started on a Tuesday. Okay, we'll just take it from Monday to Sunday. So Monday to Sunday, any day of the week, I need to watch 1 movie. I need to write it down. And, that will be a topic of discussion when I get to it. For this week, I still have not watched anything. Tomorrow is a free day. I should be going to watch something. I did not specify, should I watch at home? Should I go to the theater? But, cinema, but let's just get back into watching things first. But yeah, well, this was actually pretty satisfying to actually just start, making this live stream, right before this, that I had this little bit of fear. No, not fear, excitement. It's like when you're going to ride a roller coaster and just like, yeah, it's gonna get exciting. You're gonna start doing the thing, but right now you're just thinking, all right, I need to prepare myself. So I just click go live. I face the camera the other way, and then I change the camera this way, and then now we're here. There are two viewers. Who are the two viewers? I'm not sure. Okay, one of them is me because I am watching myself right now, right in front of me, because I was testing the sound. I don't know who the other person is. Welcome. I acknowledge your presence if you are watching. You are one of the few people who is here, basically. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully you're having a very good day. And to those watching the live stream in the replays, welcome too. You can join me in the next live stream. I don't have like a streaming schedule. Besides, it's gonna be every day of reflecting how I've been going over things for half an hour, maybe more if it picks up. Maybe we go into like the work study type of thing in the afternoons, but I'm not sure if anyone is like free that time because everyone is working. Yeah. So now we're gonna move on to the second thing. Should I move the camera? I prefer the other one, but you know what? I think this works. I keep looking up at myself because I'm still very not used to the part where I am, just talking to myself is fine. The reason why I'm so natural and just like, at least I find myself natural, I gotta give myself that, is that there has been a bit of practice before actually coming to this. One of which is when I'm doing my own vlogs, I'm speaking in front of the camera, especially in public. Have you guys heard of rejection therapy, where basically you train yourself to be rejected? It's funny because like I have been rejected by many people in life before. I've been rejected for a lot of things. So that kind of like primed me up to rejection of, if people watch, people leave kind of thing. So I think I am cool with that. But the biggest thing is that I have come to a point where it doesn't matter if anyone is watching right now. From a very strategical standpoint, when this video goes up at the end of it, because the live stream is like sort of like over and then people can watch the rerun, then it's just a regular video. So I don't mind that this video, I am making this video for those people at the end who are going to be watching it in the rerun. The other thing is also because that what was the point that I'm talking about? The other point is that I remember what point I'm talking about. I'm trying to like piece together in a certain way how to explain it. Okay, let me think of. So the concept is when you're on a stage and you're just doing your thing. When you are doing your thing, people will sort of like come in, come out. They'll see what you're doing, and if they don't like it, they'll leave. If they find the vibe, find your tribe, find your vibe kind of thing, then they'll stick around, and then they will want to be around the people who are kind of like with you. But the thing is like, this is where you got to train your with or without you energy, and this is something that I've been repeating to myself for a lot of. I've been repeating myself this entire week to a lot of people. Like you guys, you gotta have this with or without you energy. What exactly is that? That basically is do the thing that you want to do, regardless if anyone will come with you. Be independent, be determined to do the thing that you want to do, and you just do it. Because when you do it and you have the full passion, your focus is all on it. When people start to see the vibe that you sort of like give out and everyone wants to like join you about it, then it seems you all go together basically. But okay, there's no but. I'm still trying to figure out how to explain this in a like that type of way, but what I'm trying to say is that hang on, I'm not sure if you can hear that. There's a cat outside. It's like meow meow. But yeah, okay, what I was trying to say is that it doesn't matter if I used to be that person who if there's no viewers, I don't know what to speak about, and if people leave, I was like, oh, then I'm a bad person. It's like, no, dude. people have their own lives to live. People have their own decision to make, and if they decide to use that time to sort of sit in here and watch the stream, that's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. But but that has nothing to do with you. You meaning the person who is streaming, you the person who is performing. Just do your thing. Don't do it for other people's validation, because if you do that and tie your worth to all the other people out there, then you kind of won't really move forward in life. You will start to be anchored down by everyone's perception, which kind of is bad in that sense. It's bad because now you're living for other people. You kind of don't know who you are, and that is something that I struggled with in the past. Where that's why I'm so into the personal development, the growth, the seeing how you change over time, because I was that person before. That's why I wish that whatever I create, put out in the world, help someone to get from point A to wherever they're going. I was just watching another live stream. You see, I'm just diverting in slipstream kind of thinking. I'm still doing it. It's very annoying, but we're here doing our first live. I'm still very, I'm getting in the mood, guys. What was I saying? Yeah. So slipstream, I'm going back and watching a live. I was watching a live on TikTok. This doctor in Singapore, he always goes for morning walks around like 6:30 p.m. I think he walks to the clinic on that kind of thing. And I just came in for this one particular moment in his life where he was saying that, I think someone was asking him, why do you keep doing your life? And like, what's the point of doing your life? And he replied with, the purpose of doing my life and doing the same thing every single day and talking about the same thing every single day is not meant only for the people who have already joined the journey. But if anyone crosses his life, and they start to be inspired by, these are the words that, right place, right time. You heard this for the first time in your life, and you want to see, you want to start getting to move and that kind of thing, then, he has done his job. He has done exactly what he wanted to do. So in the same manner, whatever I put out here with the stories that I'm telling, hopefully someone will see it, whether they come in or not, and feel that they want to take their life to the next level. I don't have everything figured out. I am still, figuring it out. No one really has anything figured out. Everyone is just trying things, based on experience and guessing and that kind of thing. So it really depends. It really depends on everyone. But if this was the right place, right time, and that one particular viewer who I don't know who is watching right now, or you're watching this in the recap, feels this could be it. This could be your sign to start moving yourself and changing yourself, because like, whoa, Nick is telling me how he struggled in the past, and now he's this person who reads a lot and now does things because he wants to and because he can. Then I've done my job. That's basically all I want to do for you, and that person has left. Yeah. Oh, water break. Yapping for half an hour is quite easy now that I think about it. I thought it was going to be harder than this. I thought there would be a lot of like dead space, dead space is like radio, where there's just a lot of silence, especially when I'm watching a lot of like K-pop idols. They are just like reading off the phone of the chat, and because everyone is just like spamming the thing, they're just like, what should I pick out, what should I say, what should I do, that kind of thing. Then it becomes very boring. So I felt that if they can do that, then I can do that too. It's sort of like the same sentiments of the thing basically. But yeah, so I did come in with a plan. I've already talked about the reflection, the point of why I'm doing this. I kind of didn't talk about the reflection, not reflection, like my actual reflection of why I'm doing this. Why I'm doing this, I already said so. But the reflection of chicken mignon. Let me do stuff. Okay, why I'm doing this, I've already said. So how has life been? Alright, you know what? Technically it's already been half an hour, but I'm just gonna do another half an hour, just like go full on. Reason being because I missed out yesterday, so might as well just go for another half an hour type thing. I've already concluded like today's thing, so I'm just gonna like tick it off. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. It's so fun that the best thing about doing something like this is that you know that you're making progress in the things that you do, especially like in the way that this is structured and all that kind of thing, is that I know that I'm from morning until night, what is going to be hitting, what am I going to be finishing, and I just finish it. And I'm like, yeah. So, okay, so now we're back. Let's continue with part 2 of the things that I want to talk about. So, how has life been so far? Life has been absolutely life has been life. To be very real with it, life has been life. In July, a lot of things happened. I reached the point of burnt out. I reached the point of, after I had burnout, I had sickness. I felt very ill. And then after that, other stuff happened. Grief set in. And also a lot of stress came in. I have a lot of ways of trying to manage stress and get around that. But this, it wasn't to the point of tears where I was like, whoa, this is really, really hard, because I believe that I've already passed the hardest point in my life, and anything that comes into me, might get hard, but not to the point of like, whoa, I want to give up kind of thing. But this was really, really hard because I tried my best to be someone that I was not. And what do I mean by this? A lot of the decisions which I made in the past few months, I'm talking about, let me break it down in like Q2, and now we're like in Q3. Getting to that point, I spent a lot of time saying yes to a lot of things. It's like, yes, let's go and film that. Yes, I will accept this job. Yes, I will go meet you. It came to the point where I was like meeting 8 to 10 people per day. I was trying to juggle that and trying to edit a lot of videos and be sane. And also now that I'm like training for a half marathon, that was also insane. And trying to fit in the reading and also struggling with the previous 75 hard, trying to get that down. And yeah, it was a lot. I said yes to too many things, and it became as such, to the point where I was not leaving my room at all. I didn't leave this computer space at all, because when you network with people online, you're doing it here. When you network with people out there, but you still have to edit things, you're like, oh, can we change this to like a Zoom call? So I have like a Zoom call here, and then after that I'll be editing something here at the same time. And even though I have sort of like a few people to help me out with like the editing stuff and that kind of thing, because now I'm moving into more of the delegatorial type role. And basically I'm delegating some work off to some people. They're my friends basically, and they already kind of like know what how we work. We know how each other works kind of thing, but I still am doing the bulk of the things, so it is still hard in that sense. So yeah, even by doing that, I had no time to leave my room. I had no time for free stuff. A lot of the rest that I was getting was also in front of the computer, which I consider rest, hence the K-pop and just watching things online, because that is really the thing that I could really take my mind off work. But it kind of was feeling a bit like work, where I had WhatsApp, Telegram on into the night while I was still doing the rendering of some videos through the night and watching K-pop on the side. It was just madness. So I was also eating here, and just know it was bad to the point where I became, I didn't go insane, but like it just became very claustrophobic. No, is that right? I'm not afraid of being in small spaces. It felt very closed up, a lot of pressure was coming upon me, hence the burnout, hence the thing. That's where I sort of was testing if I could wake up at 3:45 a.m. Two reasons. One, because the half marathon is going to be at night, early in the morning. So I sort of need to prime myself to wake up very early. So I'm building towards that. The second thing is that if I don't have time for myself during the day, and I also don't have time to think during the day, then what time am I going to actually have time to think and do all these kind of things? So that's why I was like thinking, wake up at 3:45 a.m., which I'm currently doing, and start my mornings with getting the work that has nothing to do with anyone away first, and then after that I can slowly release during the day, to just do my own thing. So that sort of worked, but it still was very cramped with a lot of things, and that just became very pressuring to me, which was hard. Yeah, so I was talking about this just now in the point where, as the artist slash filmmaker, you can either choose like either or. If you are doing the filming, you can only be filming. If you are watching things, consuming things, then you're consuming. You cannot be doing two things at the same time. And in the business itself, going from a freelance filmmaker to an actual like running a business with a bunch of friends, it's like when you are the core member who not only has the skills and also the drive to go and find clients and kind of thing, when you are networking, you can't be shooting, being on set to shoot things. If you're shooting, filming something, then you cannot be at meetings and meeting other people. Meaning you also cannot be planning other films. You also cannot be, coordinating people at the same time. There's just too many things to be doing at the same time. So as I'm doing all these business things, then where's the time for me to go and run for my marathons, or even go to the gym? Slowly doing 75 hard, I had no time to go to the gym, which became like a time for me to just like run on the spot for half an hour, because 45 minutes, because I just had to get in the exercise, the second exercise for 75 hard. It was just madness in that case. So with all of this stacked up against me, where was exactly the part where I could rest? None. I could not rest at all. And I said to myself that, hey, I'm fine. I'm doing all of these things because I am I want to do these things. I want to put myself in this position because I want to learn what is my threshold of pain. And I found it. I found that after a month of going hard at it, it became really hard. It became really hard on myself, to the point where, my coach was asking me like, why is it so low effort? Basically we run, we do like this online coaching kind of thing where he can see my stats of my heart rate and that kind of thing. It's like connected to my Garmin watch, to the phone. We use Training Peaks, if anyone knows that. But basically he was just like looking at all the data, and he was like saying that, hey, why is it such low effort? Why are you not putting in so much effort? And I was like, bro, it's so hard because I've just came back from a 17-hour shoot overnight, did not sleep, and I only have this like hour to get in my run. So yeah, it is what it is. I have to just, this is what we're working with, and that kind of thing. So over time it became, why is it so low effort? Why are you not putting in the effort? I told him like, holistically, I have not had any time to rest physically. I did not meet any friends, no social life, no getting out, no sunlight, so on and so forth. And it was quite depressing, to the point where even when I was running, I didn't feel like running. And we might not touch on this point very early into the live streams, but just maybe I'm jinxing it, I'm not sure, maybe I'll go off the charts, but I might not continue running in the future, simply because if I need to pick, I can't be someone who can do it all at this point in time. If I want to go all in on building a business and crafting something around art, which takes up so much time, then probably running marathons, training for it 5 days a week, might not be the most viable option. Maybe something like, if I'm training for a marathon, maybe like 2 days a week, flexible of training could be sort of it, but like over a year. So if I'm training for next year's marathon in Singapore, then I have to, then that will be okay. But if you're asking me to do 5 days a week, every single day, eh, 5 days a week, every single day? No, 5 days a week, that is just very taxing to me. I don't think that I'll be able to keep up with that. So yeah, no go, no go. So yeah, that's not something that I really want to continue on doing, but we will see that in the future, when the future actually does come for that. TLDR, after whatever I just said, it was very tough. That is how life has been. And that has how the business has been too. We have been very busy working on documentaries. We've been very busy working on that kind of thing. Oh, and this other point where, I'm kind of making content for other people. I don't see content, especially like even this live stream, I don't see it as, I'm going to make content and people can watch and kind of thing. It's like, yes, that's half the thing. But at the same time, when I'm turning up as myself. I'm not turning up as someone, as this guru or as this person who is like saying, yeah, you got to do it like this. And also it's like, you got to make the content and put it out there so people can consume, kind of thing. That's not me. I never saw content, like I talked about at the start, part one of this whole thing, which was when I got into video production or home videos, back in the day. It was not because I thought I was going to be the next big filmmaker. I also didn't think that I was going to be the next big YouTuber or that kind of thing. I just thought that putting a camera, making a scene, and watching it over and over again was so fascinating to me. And until this day, it's still the most fascinating thing to me. Especially when you play with intention and you create something. It's like, wow, it's crazy. I have no words for it. It's just something that I feel whole. That seems to be the theme for today, ain't it? But yeah, the other thing is, let me get to my point first. As I'm doing all these filmmaking kind of things, then I have to create content. I'm still sitting in front of the computer, therefore I'm sitting even more into the day, just editing stuff, which got quite depressing. So content to me, even though I don't put a lot of effort, not in technical, not in this, it still got very, very taxing doing the same type of workflow. I was talking to one of my child friends, and then he's a PT, he's also a competitive powerlifter, and when he creates content, he's like, oh, it's very fun. It's very fun to make videos, in CapCut and then post it online and that kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I also like that because that's very, very fun. But then, like, when I was explaining everything to him, he was like, yeah, what he said was like, yeah, for you, it's sort of like, it's the same thing, right? It's like, to you, you're making videos and that's like your thing. And then after you have to create content, that's also your thing. Therefore, it doesn't really separate from what you create as short form content and also the type of work that you do, like the real videos. So, there wasn't any separation in my life, and it was bad. Okay, the other point that I want to talk about is that as I show up, I don't think that showing I don't take the videos that I create as that one video that will change the world. Like, no, that's not how I take it. I take it more on like how I just lost my train of thought. I take social media as a byproduct. Yes, I remember that now. I take social media as a byproduct. And what I mean by that is that, again, going back to the with or without your energy, it's like with or without anyone watching this, I will still continue to be doing whatever I'm doing. I will still continue to run my marathons. I will still continue to plan my films, create stuff. I will still continue to do exactly whatever I want to, because that is the thing outside there, the thing that I do. That's how I run in life. And that's where a lot of influencers kind of like fail in a sense, because they tie their worth so much to the online space of like followers and like the numbers and the money and that kind of thing. It's like, sure, but that's a bit shallow, because when you meet these people in real life, I'm not saying all, but like when you meet some of the influencers, UGC creators, in real life, they have no substance to their life. They're doing it really for the money. I like to weigh out the possibilities. It's not wrong on one side, you like get that bank, but at the same time, it's just like, I can't stick with you because you're not, there's nothing more than that for you. Yeah. So for me, social media is just a byproduct. I do this, get the word out there, do my thing, but I'm still making films out there. I still have a lot to plan. You look behind me. You see all these things down here. Here. There's like all the films that are being planned at the moment with a bunch of friends too. So, after this life, I go to that and I continue, and I'm still happy doing that. That is substance, which I'm talking about. Meet me on the street, out there in real life. I'll be doing the same thing. It's like, Nick, what did you do yesterday? Well, I was planning a film. What film are you doing? Well, this film is about a documentary on... Oh, actually, I was talking with one of my friends, or someone new that I might or might not introduce you guys to, where like she's sort of like working with me, working with / for me. Yeah, anyway. Oh, no, I lost my train of thought then. Why am I introducing you to her? Most likely because of... Oh, yeah. I said... I have a podcast somewhere on YouTube. It's called The Next Adventure Podcast. I did season 1 with a bunch of friends. We kind of shot season 2, but again, that was very taxing because I was doing everything myself. Especially the setup. Everything was done in this room too. All the way that was set up was done in this room. And when people come in, I have to like tear down this entire space just to build everything up. Have people inside, film the thing, tear everything down, bring back my computer, go again. And to coordinate people to do such a thing, it was very taxing. But anyway, I was telling her, yo, this is my podcast. I felt like I want to do this in the future. She was like, whoa, that's very interesting. That's something that she also wants to do, that kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, but it's very, but yeah, I want to take it to the next level because of all the people that I've been networking with. And I think we can make it work. Then she's like, yeah, let's get on board with that. And say, but we already need time to do it and need time to plan it. Okay, I kind of lost my train of thought, but that was sort of along the lines of like videos and planning and things that I do outside my life. There is still substance. There is still something that I do. Hence, going back to the first point, I'm not afraid of what I create. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just sharing my passion, sharing the things that I really like to do. Yeah. But where are we now? What time is it? It is 48. We're on part 2. Still on part 2 because, we missed yesterday. And this actually seems quite fun. Ooh. My voice is getting a bit hoarse. And speaking of hoarse, I just want to say, I wanted to say that my voice is getting hoarse because I was on a Zoom call. I was on a bunch of Zoom calls before this. So that's why I was talking a lot before that. But I wanted to bring a funny thing, which was I ever had a Zoom call during the period of time before this where someone emailed and texted me to someone set up a scheduled Zoom call with me and a bunch of other people, and that was like something that they say was very important. We went inside the Zoom call. It was super early in the morning. That person told us to, hey, I sent the email. The entire Zoom call was just about someone telling us that they have sent the email and telling us, like, go and read it, basically. Nothing more to say for that. I just want to just put that out there, that was the most interestingly annoying. Why would people do such a thing? like again, I try to weigh both sides. Probably the guy was too stressed that he was just like, oh, probably they don't have time. Therefore, this is the only time that we can sort of like get them. So that's why he set up a whole Zoom call for all of us. Then we can, get together just to tell us that, hey, don't miss out on that message. Go and read the Zoom call. But yeah, that was very weird. I have a lot of stories for what has happened over the past few months of like getting outside of my comfort zone, meeting people at different funny places, the way people talk. It seems that I have seen it all, or I have not seen it all until I have seen all these people. They were very interesting, and suddenly I felt not weird. Suddenly I felt like I had a lot of empathy for a lot of people and their lives. Like, why do they do these kind of things? It was very interesting that way. But yeah, I don't want to talk about it now. It's story for next time. So yeah, the last thing on the agenda of what I want to talk about today is what are the plans for the future. Just to recap, we talked about this in part 1, 75 Hard, the new thing that I'm doing. I'm talking about how the business has been, how I've been, and then we talked about how I'm running the business right now, a little plans for the future down here, but really getting into the details of what is happening for the future. One would be I will be streaming every single day, and slowly to discover what time I can actually, there are more people to hear around us to join us. Hopefully we'll come to a point where we see there are a lot of people in chat, and then we can like talk to each other, and I don't have to yap for 2 hours, 1 hour, whatever, by myself. It's like, it's not bad. It's something that I can do, but I wish there were some people inside here that, we can join together and we can talk with each other. I think that would be pretty cool too. And then we can all move forward into the future together. I'm much of a very organized person, so I kind of have like an agenda to follow. We don't have to completely follow whatever I write down, but it's just something to follow when you are rewatching the live stream later on if you have missed it. And also, you kind of know every time you come in what you're going to expect. I feel that is the sort of structure that I'm going to be doing these live streams. But yeah, what time am I doing it? So far, I think I will be doing it at night first. We'll test that out. If there are more people online, deeper into the night. When I mean deeper into the night, I'm talking about when I wake up at 3:45 a.m. every single day. If that is when most people are online, then we'll most likely do it then. Or during midday, where everyone is a bit lonely and they're looking for a lunch buddy, that could be me. But yeah, when we come in here, we're here to reflect. We're here to see how we've grown. We're here to see how we can take ourselves to the next level. And that is the way. That is what I'm here to do. Yeah. So future plans. Let's get down to it. The future plans are firstly live every single day. Me working with that other girl that I was talking about just now, we might be working on might be working on a film. When I mean film, it's something more than a year such thing. It's just a big challenge because that really excites me. Marathons, powerlifting, strongman kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's fun, but like I get the six pack, then what? But making a film, being uncertain, learning new things, research, yes, that is exactly what I want to do. And that's something that I'll be working with her on, which will also translate into, there are things that are going on in Nick's life, therefore I can go and film things and share with you guys on the main channel with the videos. And talking about the main channel and the videos and all these kind of things, I will be going very hard, locking it, because she's helping me with like sort of like the marketing in the sense. So building a personal brand, which means I can be more consistent on here, not just the live streams, but also in the full length videos, because I'm teaching her editing. You don't want to try, throw people into a full client video with no experience kind of thing. So it's like you can just test out on my videos. She's like, sure. And I'm teaching her technical stuff and that. So that's why I'm going to be more consistent on creating the videos up here. and things that are happening in my life. So things that are happening in my life: 75 hard round 2, training for a half marathon which is coming up in October. I'm also thinking about next year, 2025, that I might be going on a hike, because like I said, the things that really drive me and make me feel like home, one of it is rocking, camping, getting messy in the mud and that kind of thing. And probably to take it to a next level is to choose a country that I can't speak the language, and I would have like a time duration to probably learn the language and also prepare for the hike. And not just hike, probably like a few days solo camping in another foreign land. That is something that I'm thinking of for 2025, but we will slowly plan as we go along. Okay, that's one thing. So that is the hike, and also learn the language, which is like something new, something interesting. Can you imagine if like this entire stream now turns into Japanese and I am speaking that kind of thing? That would be pretty cool. Sure, seeing that progress, go towards that. Other than that, we're reading a lot of books. Books. We're reading a lot of books. Okay. I think the biggest thing is what exactly is happening. Like, what's the point of me like going towards the future? What exactly am I building in? I had a hard think about this. I think community has been the biggest thing for me. We are social creatures. We are people who need to be around people with the same vibe, and looking in the landscape of, this is based off the research that I did, the talking with people through my networks and that kind of things. It seems that it's very hard for creatives, especially in Singapore, to meet other people, because most of us are very introverted people. Most of us are very artsy people, that kind of thing. The moment I took on like the ways of the entrepreneur, where you go out there and you meet people, and then I'm suddenly texting all these artists like, yo, let's meet, let's go, that's that kind of thing. And it's like the first time they have been approached like this, because normally you get like linked up with someone else through a shoot and that kind of thing, which is completely different from like, hey, yo, let's meet without any agenda, because I just want to get to know you. We're not going to film anything, but if we do, then like cool. Even if we, I have an idea of what we can film in the future, that kind of thing, at least I have you in mind, that kind of thing. But meeting people for the first time, inviting them out for a drink, like coffee, talking to them, getting to know that, hey, everyone is struggling and they are sort of like figuring it out. But the biggest thing that they are figuring out is like, how do I meet people? How do I bring my works to a greater place? There are established places that do that, but not in the way that I want to do it, which is why this whole building of this community is very important to me, because I'm taking reference from all the the ranger stations which are out there in those campsites and that kind of thing. Okay, there are a lot of ideas floating around right now, which is what we're going to be working on together, apart from all the other things, which is ideating where the future is going for me. I kind of want to build this place where it's for creatives, and think of it like a cafe, a free place, a place that people can come together and we can host events, and then we can bring creatives together, and then we can just scatter this particular place around the world. And it feels so much like, like a Poke Center where everyone has to go to this place, that kind of thing. And then, it's sort of the same culture, a same home that everyone can come to. But it's all over the world, kind of thing. That's where I see the future of this sort of thing. There are other people doing it, probably not in the way that I want to. The reason why I keep saying this particular last line is like, every film director has their way of wanting to do their films, like, make the films. So 100%, there will never be 100% of someone being able to take on someone's style of doing things. Like, there's a film that I'm working on right now. The way that I'm talking, discussing with the person is like, this is the way that I like to do it. It's very quiet. It's just raw emotion, and the people are fighting, that kind of thing. And in my head, I'm thinking like, I would do it with a lot of heavy sounds, off-screen sounds, a lot of bass, a lot of camera movements and that kind of thing. And the person is like, I like to do it static, sticks, not moving, that kind of thing. I can't fault them, they're the director. But you see how it kind of like changes, that kind of thing. Because, I'm just not her. She's not me. Directors have their own way of doing things. So, while that will be the fantasy of like what I'm thinking about, like this is what I want to do, build this place, build this community, so on and so forth. Will it happen? Yeah, most likely, sure. Because the more I talk about it, the more I drive myself to build this sort of thing, then it will bring me to a place of, the law of attraction to bring you closer to the place that you want to be. It's similar to if you guys watch the live streams and, you are attracted to having this sort of energy in here where you are feeling, driven by someone else's energy, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. They only can be passed. And energy constantly is moving around the place. Energy needs to go somewhere. So that's why when people are feeling very depressed, all those gym talks, what do you call that, the kind of thing? Forbidden pre. They go to the gym and then like monk mode, and then get a workout and that kind of thing. So similar things, energy needs to go somewhere. And if you're around the energy that you want to be in, be around, where I'm pushing forward on myself and I'm saying like, yo, go and do this, and you're thinking, yo, I also want to do this, and you're giving me the energy back, then that's where we can sort of like build each other up. And yeah, that's the community which I'm trying to build. Which I also, I'm just going off and off and off and off, but I think I will end off at this point, which is slightly, I wouldn't say it's controversial in a sense, but slowly I found out that I have this target audience of who exactly am I wanting to bring along on this journey. If you want to take your life to, I wouldn't say the next level, but you want to become the best version of yourself, someone who is ready for change, then this journey might be for you. If you are someone who is still, discovering yourself and you're still wandering around life, which is nothing wrong. For the most part of my life, I was lost. I was running around in circles, being oblivious to options out there in the world, because my life I thought that life was really everything in my head. So, sometimes you're not ready to go and change yet. You just have to wait it out. Have something really force you to change. If you don't change and the things change around you, then you'll be forced to change in the end. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of people are not ready to change. Change is hard. It's a big step, big leap. But once you get over that, I'll be there to support you. I'll be there with you in the change, because I'm always about that kind of thing. Without failure, this book is about failure, by the way. Without failure, you will not reach. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of it. So I would rather fail at a lot of things than keep getting a lot of successes, knowing that there could be something even better, kind of thing. But yeah, I think I have spoken enough. I've already completed an hour of talking, reflecting, and that felt really, really fast. I have done studio productions before, so it felt really like that, in the sense where I just keep talking and then life just happens. But this was fun. This was really, really fun. Who knows that the 30-minute live streams every single day will become an hour, 2 hours, especially to the point where people start coming in and actually start talking. That will be very interesting to me. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. For those watching in the recap, hopefully you learned something off of this. And if you are coming back to watch, you want to leave a comment inside for future episodes of things you kind of want to talk about, where you kind of like want to drive, that kind of thing. I will sort of have built a framework, but like there will be a plan for people who are just starting their journeys and can just join us in this growth. But yeah, That's all to say for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something about me. Hopefully you are ready for the next. No. Hopefully you are ready for the goal. It's time to lock in. It's time to get going. It's time for the next adventure. Goodbye. Ciao.